in the kingdom. I am, of course, Belo_Nkosi on all social media platforms, but here I am known as Thabelo Dlamini. As I have already said, we are bringing you premium content today. You know, this Friday is definitely no different. We have a jam-packed lineup, you know, with very, very important people in the kingdom who will provide you with the best information and tell you things that you need to know. And most importantly, you know, people are dropping left, right, and center, and we are here for all of that. As I have already said, it is going to be entertaining, so please do stick around as we shut it down for the next hour. You know, I'll be providing you with the best local music, people to see, and many more things. But on all our social media platforms where you get to engage with us throughout the week. And you know, we keep you informed on what is to happen here on this weekend. Eswatini is missing in action, but we are going to be shutting it down and giving you all there is to know in the kingdom of Eswatini. As I have already said, we do have an extremely premium lineup for this weekend's episode. And to start off with, we are of course joined by Bongile, who is from the Bring Your Fire Zone team, and she is here joining us to talk about the UN Bring Your Fire live dialogues, which have already been taking place. I mean, if you have seen throughout the course of the week, we had a live session yesterday, which was very, you know, pertinent to all the youth and of course all the people in the kingdom of Eswatini. But other than that, we are also joined by MK, who has just dropped music, and he is here to tell us all about that. And of course, not one but two nominees will be in the building to talk about their nominations, and of course that is Bonke, who will talk about his nomination at the Shining Star Africa Awards. And lastly, we do have Juno Kumalo, who has a book launch and is joining us to talk all about that. But we started off with a bit of music to get you warm and feeling groovy. Taking it away is Young Zesh. Please do enjoy.
Darling sugen babane umunga khona ubongimela kakhoza lekhumbi hamba kancane namangisa khona my love. Darling sugen babane umunga khona ubongimela kakhoza lekhumbi hamba kancane namangisa khona my love. Awumshayeli wami cela uyishaye zulema, awuyishaye zulema, cela ungithathe ungibeke esibambeni. Wemshayeli wami nale kumbi yang sangane asikhanzi ngodik mala kwane becela isiphuthu bani babane eish musaka lindwane nganiphethe isupu ubongitshela ofika kuwe athudoso angijule bitsayini yojatshulendini ngiphethe maleni okamasengli shaye mshayeli man kimakusakhonakala sengifuna uthali wami hala mantombazane shayeli wo shangilada nje ungimele darling suke mbabane umunga khona ubongimela kakhoza lekhumbi hamba kancane nangangisakhona my love. Darling suke mbabane umunga khona ubongimela kakhoza lekhumbi hamba kancane nangangisakhona my love. Awumshayeli wami cela uyishaye zulema, awuyishaye zulema, cela ungithathe ungibeke esibambeni. Wemshayeli wami cela uyishaye zulema, awuyishaye zulema, cela ungithathe ungibeke esibambeni.
Namshayeli ngathi uhamba kancane phela isikhathi solo zule mbaba ungibona nje ngiyava ngumbulo selokagcina kulo wamsombuluko mangikubona qhaqhathele emabhluko phela wena umuhla uthengi nesibuko cela ukuthi ungimele station lapho khona nemishini bafana ubatshela usenhlitweni yamba ngalingi basonzele kuwe phela lofuna ukuthatha wena eceleni kwami kwamele kuthendlulela kimi Nakole preaching igakos. Nashubaga ukude maposa. But in I cheese. Get the money, get down on my knees. Buy you nice clothes, elevate your steez. Entry 20 yummy, girl, you got the keys. Would you never leave me, girl, I'm asking, please. Even when we're fighting, I be choosing peace. I'm shy, love fire food. Mogumba mi mesubone maput. Na figure like tintini mina now suta.
Darling suge mbabane Umunga konu bongmela kakoza Lekumbi hamba kancane Nangmangsa konmala Darling suge mbabane
And if you just tuned in, welcome to This Weekend Eswatini. We are still unpacking all the entertainment in the Kingdom of Eswatini. And sometimes, you know, we like to say entertainment is, of course, education. And, you know, joining me right now is, of course, Miss Bongile Kanyile, who joins me to talk about the UN Bring Your Fire live dialogues, which have already started taking place. But if you just heard about them, I feel like you are not too late, because you can definitely jump on the wagon and ride along, because it's still going to be a series of beautiful dialogues. But she joins us to unpack everything. Ms. Bongile, welcome to This Weekend Eswatini.
Thank you very much, and thank you for having us. I think it's a pleasure for us to be here as the UN Live Dialogues.
Yes.
Bring Your Fire.
Yeah.
The title name is Bring Your Fire, so it's a pleasure for me to be here to share the information with the youth about how they can use their creativity towards social change.
And you know, if there's one thing that I always say is that people think that the MTN Bushfire Festival is just about the music, the entertainment that actually happens on the day, but on the days. But there is so much more to the MTN Bushfire Festival. You know, there's a call to action that so many organizations and people are responding to. So just to start off with, can you explain the concept behind the collaboration of MTN Bushfire and the UN Live Dialogues?
All right, great. So what we started to do, we as MTN Bushfire, we've been engaged in the Schools Festival, but we saw a platform to bring in our development partners into a space where we could continue to share more insights, especially with the youth, and looking at how can they, through the creative arts, bring messaging to the youth using their creative art. So it's not just about, it's poetry, it's music, it's art. So the Bushfire Festival itself is actually a combination of activities that have been going on for a full year. So in collaboration with the UN, we thought, how can we put together a formal program that will allow people to engage in that space? And we're hoping that as we started the collaboration, this being the first year where we actually took the dialogues out. We held dialogues last year, but we're now taking them out in the community so we can get more youth voices for engagement and activism through the arts.
Yeah, and you know, what are some of the primary objectives of the upcoming dialogues? You know, we did have one yesterday which was live on Eswatini TV, and it was speaking on the role of education in fostering climate change. It was very interesting. I was there also listening, and in the crowds I found there were teachers, you know, different professions, people from our government, and it played such a vital role in informing us, the public, about issues such as climate change. But what are some of the primary objectives that the other upcoming dialogues will be holding?
Okay, so what we want to talk about really, and we're looking, so the dialogues themselves will be looking at bringing in the youth and getting the youth voices on some of the issues that we're now faced with in terms of our society. So the next upcoming dialogues will be looking at gender-based violence. We'll be looking at youth employability and food security, and how do we engage the youth to address some of these challenges. And the combination of all that information and the sharing, which is why it's important for the youth to please participate.
Yes.
You have a platform to be able to feed into the Summit of the Future, which will be taking place in 2024, through the creative space, through an environment where you're not being lectured to, where your voice is being heard, by being part of the UN Live Dialogues. Yes.
Yeah, and you know, we talk about the significance of now taking these dialogues out of House on Fire, you know, bringing them to the communities. What is the whole purpose of pushing it out and further into the people?
So the whole purpose of that is to allow people who normally wouldn't have access to a platform. So the reason we go to Goluseni is because we're looking for 18 to 35-year-olds, which is the target population if you talk about youth, as defined by the government and the UN. So we're reaching out for people who don't necessarily have the opportunity to be part of that. And by putting it on social media, by putting it on Facebook, on the different platforms, you're now able to reach out even further. So this is an initiative that's supposed to really bring out the voices of the youth.
And moving on, we did have a list of panelists yesterday. In different professions, and they contributed greatly towards the topic that was being spoken about yesterday. But as we continue, the topics do change. You did mention that there'll be gender-based violence. Can we talk to the panelists that will be coming in the dialogues that are coming up? Are there any people that we should be looking out for, and what is their contribution towards the dialogue?
Okay, so the way that we've structured our panel is we have got academics involved, we've got policymakers, we have artists to bring out that artist and how they're involved with the different topics. So some of the not just with the gender-based violence, you can look out for artists like Seni, artists like Courtesy, who are going to be engaging with these topics.
And moving on with the dialogues, how can we hope the facilitation is interactive with the youth? Because I'm sure bringing it to a place like Kwaluseni means that the masses will definitely be there. Can we talk about the interaction? Do they have an opportunity to speak or ask the panelists any questions?
So we're not limiting the youth in terms of what they can ask or speak with. Again, these are UN live dialogues, specifically looking and talking to the youth. So what we're trying to do is we need to have an interactive dialogue. It is less actually about the panelists and more about the youth. The youth get an opportunity to engage with policymakers, government, different stakeholders, and ask the questions that they would like to ask, to understand how do we address our issues as youth, in terms of employability, in terms of gender-based violence. There will be some that are coming on in the further week, HIV and AIDS and inclusion. So we need the youth to kind of bring up their voices, because at the end of the day, I think what the aim really is about is how do we bring our fire as youth and also as programmers? How do we engage through a platform that they will understand? Through the arts, the creative arts.
And we spoke briefly about the future of this partnership between the UN and MTN Bushfire, and of course the live dialogues. It happens at a time where it's much closer to the festival, but what is the future of this partnership throughout the year till the following year? What can we hope to see from these dialogues coming into fruition much later than this?
So what we're looking at, I mean, this is the second year of the partnership. I think it's been a learning curve for the Bring Your Fire Zone as well, and our partners. We have a lot of strategic partners, and I think that what comes out of it, every year it gets better. So we are looking to then, how do we, out of this, what we've now received with the live dialogues, first try, what does it actually mean? And I think that's the whole point, is from a programming perspective, what are we learning from the youth, and what is required for the next sessions?
And of course, we did say they were being broadcasted live. Where can people continue to follow these UN Bring Your Fire live dialogues?
So we have them on our Facebook channel, and that would be specifically to Bushfire. And then on the UN platforms as well, and of course via Eswatini TV, YouTube.
And then just one last question. What role do you see these live dialogues playing in the broader context of the MTN Bushfire's mission?
So the broader context is really, at the end of it all, we want people to understand how to bring their fire. So you can bring your fire by speaking out through your music. You can bring your fire by being a volunteer in your community, because it takes all of us really to make an effort to change how we live and our communities as well. So the one last thing that actually is going to come out of this is a volunteer day. How are you bringing your fire?
And can you highlight the strategic partners and their roles in this specific project?
So on this first try of our live dialogues, we've had the pleasure of having very strategic partners like Eswatini TV,
Yes.
the UN, USAID is also on board, Goluseni University has also been on board, and really every single one of these partners has brought their fire to the dialogue.
I can see that there is a huge list, of partners that are there. But we do hope that everything will be a success. As we continue, we want the youth to listen. And we do hope that they will be joining us live on Eswatini TV. And if not, there are many other platforms. You could literally be in your car just listening. Thank you so much once again,
Thank you
Ms.
for having
Bonile,
us.
for joining us. We do hope that the youth will be engaging.
Please participate. It's a platform.
All righty, you heard it. We're calling out on all the youth to participate. And of course, it is taking place, the MTN Bushfire Festival, taking place from the 31st to the 2nd of June. Get your tickets, please. Do not call us on the last day. Do you have tickets? You know what I'm talking about. But other than that, let us head on over to some more music. We will be right back.
Zuretake, sapapau, sapapau, uzutate, azora papa, ndarea, so papa, ndarea, so papa, saru, saru, saru. Ai, basize, 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 tetelele zono zabo abao basize, 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 tetelele zono zabo abao basize, 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 tetelele zono zabo abao basize, basize. Basize, 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 tetelele zono zabo abao basize, basize.
Alrighty, if you just tuned in, you are tuned into This Weekend Eswatini Babugla Makaya, and we just unpacked the UN Bring Your Fire Alive dialogues, which did take place yesterday, but they do continue. And on Tuesday, we will be at the Kwaluseni campus, where the youth can join us. You know, so many voices, and they are willing to be heard. This time, Babugla Makaya, right about now, we are joined by Mr. Juno Kumalo, who is definitely no stranger to the show. He joins us to talk about the launch of his book and, of course, being nominated at the Shining Star Africa Awards. Jumbo, welcome to This Weekend Eswatini.
How are you, presenter Bunjan Swam?
Cool. You know, we definitely sing you at the top, Mr. See you at the top. As about the book and the launch of the book, the winning tips for hustlers. Yeah, can we talk about the title first? Why did you choose to venture into such writing and, of course, this specific book?
Okay, thank you so much. I am a hustler at heart. You know my work. I'm the founder of the Jumbo Festival. I'm an influencer. I'm an MC. So I am a hustler at heart. So I decided to see ngibhale impilo yami basically indlela lengisebenza ngayo mina, because ema followers ambeka solo athi acela mane kuva story sami, acela mane ngibabhale le story sami. So I decided to write a book about my journey nje as ngaqala kusebenza up until today. So that is how the topic tips for hustlers came about.
And Jumbo, you know, just speaking on to the book, you know, a book has many chapters, and this one has 65 tips, I can say, that are useful to the people. But you know, sometimes in writing, you do get to a blank point. Is there anyone specifically that assisted you on a specific chapter to make it what it is?
Please come again.
Is there anyone that assisted you in creating a chapter? Because, you know, sometimes when writing, we do reach blank points. Maybe, story. How did you structure everything? Is there anyone lo akusita?
Oh, okay. No, not really good. You know, lencwadi yami, it is about my story, my personal journey.
Yes.
So konke lokulapha encwadini ku first hand yabona ku experience wengini. So it is not like an academic book where kufuna research and cite ebo Harvard bese sengiba blank at some point in time yabona. No, that is my life, generally my life. So onke lama chapters are available kuhleli mina embikwe laptop ngichafada lapha ngibhala.
So you are the publisher of the book, you are the author of the book, and it is your story being told. That's what you're saying to me.
Oh, okay. The story is about me, but of course, even a professional proofreader, even a professional publisher. So he publisher Mr. Hero all the way from Nigeria, but he is in Swaziland. We publisher wayo and proofreader wayo ngundobeko ngamphalala.
Alrighty, and speaking on the launch of the book, what can we expect in terms of launching the book? And singayitfola kuphi nje here in the Kingdom of Eswatini nase launch you?
Oh, okay. I'm so excited about the launch, the reception, lengitfola ku audience yami, especially from Facebook, my Jumbo One Nation. People are so excited to come kule launch. I'm so happy. I'm saying actually 8 June sale launch my selling points ngawasebenzisa Websters Losembabane Manzini Ntangano and Teki.
Okay, so Utsibanfu that will be attending that launch, but don't follow the signature on the book. Le launch entail in because, you know, is it you going up on stage and debriefing the book and, you know, summarizing it for the people? How will the launch be orientated?
Okay, of course le launch ndokuya stage ngikhulume ngi-summarize obviously labatawo bebakule launch batawuthola personally signed book by the
Yes.
author. Indawo but akhona i-entertainment, ama-refreshers lakhona, ama-poets, nema-musicians that form a part of the program yale launch.
Alrighty, before siye kuma-details we-launch utshele babukela emakhaya ukuthi bangathola amathikithi nini kanjani. Can we talk about this beautiful nomination here, my Shining Star Africa Awards, where you, Juno Kumalo, were nominated for the Best Star Influencer of the Year award. How did you deal with receiving such news?
Wow. I was so mesmerized. Ngajabula. I was like, I imagine Ngangwane in a very, very small country. Like, recognize Ngangwane. It's not like it's a national award. Africa award. Some are from Nigeria, some are from Cape Verde. I was like, wow. I was so happy. I don't want to lie.
But I do feel like the nomination on its own is definitely a win. Sesivala nje Jumbo, ngicela ungikhumbutele babukela emakhaya ukuthi ticket le launch bayithola njani futhi I launch inini.
Okay, thank you so much. Ticket atholakala enombolweni yami 76485954 76485954 basenda Momo or e-wallet or Instacash kiyo, then basende proof of payment ka WhatsApp, and launch on the 8th of June 2024 Efane Sami Hotel Kalanga 10 iphele nga12.
Alrighty, thank you so much, Jumbo, once again for joining us. You know, all the best with, of course, the Shining Star Africa Awards. We do hope that people will get voting. Not to say afuna man gunbona nmele I continent and I country. Thank you so much once again for joining us.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Nivile ke babukele emakhaya. All you have to do is contact Jumbo and get yourselves tickets to the launch of his book. You know, there's so much to be given away, of course, the book. But other than that, we are still moving on. We are talking to so many nominees on the show today because when we come back, Mbonke will be joining us, who is also nominated at the Shining Star Africa Awards. There's so much to find out. But when we return... And that was DJ Cup featuring our favorite Mandisa with Amaphupho. And you know, speaking about Amaphupho Lafezekile, right about now, I am joined by one of our local artists. It is MK joining me here. He is known as MK, but Kamalake Nketulwazi Mamba. Joining me to talk about his story and, of course, his brand new music. Welcome to This Week in Eswatini.
Thank you for having me, and hello to the viewers at home.
MK, let's talk about MK's journey, taking it back to when you were young. How did your musical journey start? And kusuka kuphi ukuthi ube part of the creative industry?
Music for me, ngaqala ukutsanza vele it's a very, very young age. Yabo ngilandzele ama-artists, lamanye local, lamanye asiki alakangwane.
Yes.
But I was struggling with singing, record and stuff because instead of writing my lyrics, I had to write notes in my classwork.
Yeah.
So that was the plight.
And what manage balance? And you at a point where you are recording your own music. You know, you do have. When did it begin for you? What was the title of the song where you felt like this is where I belong?
It was last year. I think it was around March.
Yeah.
Around March, I released a song, my first single, titled into Legalelen.
Yes.
Yeah, imagine ngoma leyo ikhuluma nge-abuse vele be-emotional kakhulu and bantu bayithanda. So I was like, no, this is me, I can go forward. Oh, I featured Mavela Mvoti.
Yes.
He's a poet, by the way.
And for bantu labangati ukuthi ngilekeleleni ingoma lekhuluma ngani, can you please break it down for us? Usitshele ukuthi uchaza ini kule ngoma and what inspired the lyrics of that song and of course your heartbreaking story.
Okay, le ngoma is not about my situation.
Yes,
It's
yes.
because sine masikhomboza ngoma sendela abantu yabona.
Yeah.
So le ngoma le is whereby kunemfati uyakhala uthi ngilekeleleni. Lo mfati is being abused yabo.
Yes.
So uyakhala uthi ngilekeleleni maSwati ma-Africa and so the whole world because vele iyacacela vele yakhulumela. Lama lyrics vele nje ayacacela ukuthi hayi la sikhuluma ngani umfati uyakhala bam abuse and futhi ngiyakhumbula kahle when I released the song.
Yeah.
Then it's about abuse, but vele tikhona
Yeah.
because we have phones, we have bonable times, TV.
Maphepheni,
Yeah,
yes.
so I was like, to stop this thing, man, for 10 seats in 70s, our creativeness, because 70s umculo wethu ukuthi sikhute because it's like siyakhuta lana ukuthi no. I'm abused by mfati yabo. So
Okay.
yeah, that was the theme of the song.
And then we move on from ngilekeleleni to ngitohlala nawe. You need to tell me this one is your story. Let's ke sabani lesibhalile ngitohlala nawe. Can you tell us about the lyrics of the song, the production of the song, ukuthi wayirekhoda nabani kanjani? And of course, uyibhalela ba?
Okay, it's not about me. It's not about me. No, it's not about me. No, sengilothi masikhomboza ngoma vele sisuke sendela ukuthi ifike ebantwini we heal different kind of people.
Yes.
Yeah, ngitohlala nawe lana it's more like it's an engagement of some sort, promising ukuthi I'm a man, ngiyampromise na my woman ukuthi no ngizohlala nawe whichever circumstances lesibhekana nawe yabo. So the piece like you DJ City, munye producer la Eswatini usemvutshini.
Yeah.
Yeah, the piece like you DJ City and it was recorded and mixed and mastered by Msofly la Pagamanzini. So and I'm not alone in the song.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've got my homies. It's me, MK154.
Yeah.
Mavela Mvoti again.
Yeah.
The poet. And then there's King Neo. And then we're like, Machita, no, let's feature someone. So we decided to up the scales. Just let's go for Sean Cass from Upscale Live.
Never get in a Sean Cass sometimes and we know that he brings quality. Go good because Sbantu in our different careers now, whereas a recording artist, you definitely do go through some challenges. What are some of the challenges that you have experienced since launching your music into the public?
Yeah, my challenge is very slow to face. Support vele bahlala bakhala ngayo yabo. Support you like support yeah. Kende ka futhi sometimes like angiyekele. but again, for me, I've got a supportive family and the people around me.
I think that's all that matters. Really.
The people around me, Baba now looks excel blind. Because I remember I released a song last year, late November, titled Buekaya.
Yes.
And people were like, no, we don't change but shooting a music video. And I was like, oh, with this one. No,
Right.
yeah, but I'm just grateful for the support. Everyone around me, from my family to my friends and stuff.
All right, okay. Nyalo, Stoenda Antena, you will let me know kuti bantu banga streamer gupi ingoma yako, and then you do the introduction of the song.
Okay. Ingoma for now is available on YouTube. It's MK154. Yeah, MK low 154. It's the story for another day.
City gang.
Yeah, it's a street code. It's a street code. It's a street code. Yeah, it's on YouTube at MK154 and Audio Mark. Available in the corner.
Okay.
Yes.
And then for the very first time here on this weekend, Eswatini Sitini, MK taking it away with To Enjoy.
Oh yeah. One, 5, 4. We up in the scales, yeah. We're darling. Bengcela kukutshela. We're sweetie, yeah. We're sweetie. Bengcela kuzelela. Ndohlala nawe. Inguna phakathi. Awu mina ndohlala nawe. Inguna phakathi.
Mina wakho nguwe phela bambo lwami thela imoto funa shayitho vele sambe siliphume nawe uyangazi ngawe ngicwele mina ndokushada kuthi ngimthala noma ngimncane akusiyinkingi ngawe ngiyayifela vele ngiyakuthanza nawe uyangazi ngawe ngicwele mina ndokushada kuthi ngimthala noma ngimncane akusiyinkingi dali ndokuthatha ngenkushiye
We're darling. Bengcela kukutshela. We're sweetie, yeah. We're sweetie. Bengcela kuzelela. Ndohlala nawe. Inguna phakathi. Awu mina ndohlala nawe. Inguna phakathi.
Ngifuna kuhlala nawe phela kudzala ke ngatshela ngawe ngicela ukubonisa bakithi ngoba wena phela ungentangihlanye ngifuna ukukuthatha ngifuna ukukulobola ngoba phela gcwele sibaya bamba sandla sami dali wena phela ngokwakhela likhaya asike sibabonise nebangani bakho sebayeke ukukukhohlisa inhlitiyo yami ipholile solo ngifuna wena kephanyalo sengutholile hawu saluvuma khulula inhlitiyo nyada kukho lula luthando lwami ngilo
Tsonga lami ingabe yini lele ngakale ngakwentela yona kuba ungazubheke ngakimi mineke sengikanhlitiyo ngiyisa ingani inhlitiyo yami ngiyisile kulothandwa ngini phela wena sithandwa sami ngebuhle uyanyisa ngazi nabo sikhotheni uyabahlanyisa anginalutho ephakatheni kodwa phakathi ekujuleni kwenhlitiyo yami lunini lithandwo lenginalo ngawe sengihlala ngijulile ngawe mina edali akukho lekwanele lengakuniketa kona thatha liqobo lwami mina ke sengikulungele kuhlala nawe kuba nawe ungabanaki wena nje bheka mina ngikulungele kusunga ngifaka bheka mina nithi forever wena mama dali ngizohlala nawe njalo umavela mdodana abaphile bantu
wedali bengicela ukutshela wesweetie bengicela kuzelela ndohlala nawe ingunaphakade awumina ndohlala nawe ingunaphakade
Yambona lona. Ay, kumnandi la kangwane. You know, the artists are definitely putting in the work, and we are seeing it for sure. If you want to see the premium music videos of the Kingdom of Eswatini, please make sure to tune into This Week at Eswatini, because that is what we provide, premium. And speaking of premium, my next guest is definitely all that. I am talking about none other than South self-published influencer and teacher, almost everything around the sun. Well, you did say it's corporate teacher. Mr. Wonke Shabangu joins us to talk about his brand influencing journey, you know, teaching, and of course, being a self-published author. Mr. Wonke, welcome to this weekend Eswatini.
Thank you so much for having me here today in this edition of This Weekend Eswatini. I'm very much excited to be here. Thank you so much.
All right, and just to start off with, can you talk about your journey as a published author in the Kingdom of Eswatini? How did it all start? Speaking of the writing, the publishing, the reception that you got from eMaswati.
For me, every day. If I'm going to share something on Facebook, that is me doing what I enjoy, doing what I'm passionate about. So it happens every day. Now I am an author because I said to myself, there must be something. There must be substance. There must be something tangible. So I dreamt of having a book, and I started writing one in 2015, and I failed.
Oh, okay.
But that was first attempt in learning.
Yes,
that was the beginning of everything. And then I came back with more vigor, with more willingness to do it, you know. So that was 2018 when I self-published my book titled A Journey to a Definite Place of Purpose. So I write this book based on me, how I think.
And what does it entail?
It's motivation based on, I would say, perspectives. Speaking to a young person, it could be one in high school, it could be one in varsity, it could be even out of school youth, even a teacher himself, like my colleagues, because there's this last chapter in the book, it says stop complaining. So it's your chapter. Now,
I need this chapter.
Yeah, it says stop complaining.
I think stop complaining.
Yeah. There's a chapter which says take an initiative. You know, like suguma and get doing. You know, get up, go out, and go for it. There's a chapter that says brand positioning. I mean, position yourself. There's a chapter that says build relationships. There's a chapter that says be someone who is beyond human understanding. So that is when you show your extraordinary flair as a person, to say this is how blessed you are with your skills, talents, and everything. So to come up with the book, it was just about packaging something for people to say, let me also contribute to the body of knowledge.
All right. And then you move on to a book titled Hustlerpreneurs. I hope I'm saying it right. Hustlerpreneurs. What then influenced you to write this type of book? Is it influenced by also a business background? Because, you know, you are an author, we know that a corporate teacher, but is there some sort of business attached to this book, or you're just trying to teach us how to be hustlers?
Well, there is no background per se. Maybe I would say there's experience, because I'm an entrepreneur myself, an active one. They know me in the social media streets for maybe being vocal, but in most cases I just love sharing about how brands grow. That's a topic that I'm very much obsessed with. So in the book, the perspective is to say, given the economy that we have, the landscape, social media wise, economic wise, and from many aspects, how best can you do it as a fellow Swazi. So my audience is the people that I think they are already engaged on what I share, especially on Facebook, because I think you will also agree with me that Facebook is one of the biggest platforms, particularly for our landscape in Swaziland. So I mean in Eswatini. Okay, so then coming to entrepreneurship, my positioning has actually influenced me or inspired me to also package something now, not just motivation, but to teach, to share insights. Because you come up with a post on Facebook, you write it there, and then people start engaging. Then you say, oh, okay, people are loving it. Now let me combine it into a book, so that I will look back into the years and say, okay, this was my second book, and I was teaching. You know, when you're a teacher, it's a noble profession. There's the content that is prescribed for high school learners. Then there's me, the energy that I have.
Give them the separate stuff.
outside
the
teaching.
premium stuff.
It's basically a book for someone who wants to be a high value person. If you want to be a high impact person, outside teaching, outside the high school stuff. Yeah.
And now I think we should talk about your brand influencing journey. You know, you have worked with very prominent brands in the Kingdom of Eswatini, some of which MTN Eswatini. You've also been part of a brand search competition as well. How have some of these experiences helped in, you know, building or growing your branding influence journey? Your brand influencing journey.
Well, that is something I fell in love with from university. I was in the SRC. So I wasn't. I'm sorry to say this. Maybe it's an apology to those who voted for me, but I wasn't there really for the student politics. I just understood that as a platform.
Popularity. Just say that.
Actually, I got popular on my first day at university, even before I got to register. I was already popular. It's a story for another day. Okay.
When done. I'm joking. Please, can you shift back
I was the
to
only
this?
one who got scholarship for my program.
Oh,
so everyone wanted to know. When my name was called on radio, everyone wanted to know who is this Bonge Mazushabang. So by the time we went for registration, everyone wanted to meet me.
But at least you're not infamous. Can we talk about the brand influencing and how you've grown throughout these partnerships?
There is the brand influencer search that you mentioned. It was with Standard Bank in 2020, towards the fall of that year. And remember, we were battling COVID at that time. So I'm a teacher and the schools are on and off. So I was a bit bored at home at that time. And then this influencer campaign came up and said, I'm going to participate in this just to demonstrate my understanding of the whole industry. And then I was in the top 3 in this category of, it was community development. So I was in the top 3 finalist. And then something interesting happened while I was in the middle of that competition. MTN approached me.
Oh, wow.
And there was a campaign that was supposed to happen. It was involving teachers, so I was going to be a face of that campaign.
All right.
But I was engaged for about a month, and then after that I was engaged for the time when MTN was switching to doing the most campaign.
All right.
Yeah. So
Okay, sorry. Now we have to skip on over. Unfortunately, I do have to cut you short there.
Okay.
Speaking about much recent things, you know, you are nominated for a Shining Star Africa, continent, the whole continent, Best Star Author of the Year. Can we talk about that nomination? How did you, people will say, how did you get in, briefly, and of course, how you're feeling about being nominated?
I feel excited, and I think that is one of the things that brought me here. There is one of the books that I'm reading. It says, "Get the best out of everything that will maybe channel to your PR." So, but then, it's just a quick tip to viewers at home. The nomination came about through a brand ambassador for the awards. So there is a representative. We are represented for the awards. There's
Like
a fellow
Eswatini.
Yes, there's a fellow Swazi who is a brand
Okay.
ambassador for the awards.
Okay.
So that is how we were identified. And then he reached to me to say, you are nominated for this category. And it speaks to what I do. It speaks to what I'm passionate about. And I just accepted the nomination. And I'm looking forward to attending the event in Joburg.
Yeah, I think now it has clarified how all Eswatis were nominated for the awards, of course. Just lastly, as we wrap up, is there a way that Eswati can vote for you to maybe bring it home, of course, because it's happening outside of Eswatini? Where can they vote for you?
It would be beautiful to bring it home. We are going to share the information as per to say this is how we are going to be voted for, and we would appreciate support from our community and our audience.
All right, and where can they follow the corporate teacher?
On Facebook, I'm there every day.
All right.
It's Bonge Daily.
All right, thank you so much once again, Bonke, for joining us. We do hope that it will be, you know, a success. We do want to see you bringing it home on behalf of all of the authors in the Kingdom of Eswatini. Thank you so much once again.
Thank you. It's been a pleasure.
All righty. Babugele Makhaya Nimvile ke Bonke, please do keep up on his socials, and of course the Shining Star African Awards socials, if you want to know how you can vote for our local favorites. There's a list of people in the the Kingdom of Eswatini in their different industries that are nominated in these specific awards. But I have to love and leave you. It has been a lovely Friday of sharing education, bringing you brand influencers, corporate teachers, musicians. But you know, Nina, same time, same place next week. Until next week, it's God bless.
Kuthi nahlangene emqimbi emagcekeni yakithi kuphekwa ngagalaza kusemve ngebulongo imbida iviwa ngeluthi 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 uyakhumbula umzala jabulani lolo tano ngmalume lomkhulu bambanani lolo suke petitif lekontana swan ngisho loyo uyobakhupha emashumi lamathathu bathi uphethe kahle akathinti phophula kolishi yadubane emlazi wabuya ekhaya wathenga emaplazi sokhuluma zigisi songibita ngakhaya inyama nenafot yophuma ngakusihlwa nawenza mbama ungasale ngiyakubita bita labanye ngiyaqosha uyajika angithi ngiyakwati uhluphapha kebrika sidobe sishaya ivosho shintshe emagiya sithathe emashot njengofana emadida zola inhlahla njengotata madiba yemngani wami ngabe bengitekele yini kuthi nahlangene emqimbi emagcekeni yakithi kuphekwa ngagalaza kusemve ngebulongo imbida iviwa ngeluthi imbida